So hi Hal, this is Subbu. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you joined. Okay, so as part of today, so we are going to see complete a basic introduction about Azure. Okay, so what is the cloud? So what are the deployment models? What are the service models are available? So what is a little bit about the Azure introduction and what are the services so Microsoft is offering? Okay, that we are going to cover as part of today. So first, let me discuss about what is cloud computing. A cloud computing is the delivery of on-demand compute services from the application to storage, okay, and processing the power typically over the internet. Over the internet means a simple, very simple, as you already know. Take a Flipkart, take a Amazon. So what exactly that e-commerce application guys are performing? So they are selling the products, right? It can be gadgets, it can be mobile, it can be electronics. Okay, so they are selling some products. So where you are going and you are purchasing whatever your requirement. You don't want to pay for all. You are whatever you are purchasing. Okay, only you are going to pay that products, right? Like same, okay, like same. Your cloud providers, your cloud providers also selling a computer, selling a hardware, selling software, selling network, selling storage. So they are just selling the products. Like it can be computer, it can be storage, it can be hardware, it can be software. Okay, they are selling. So what you are going to do, just you will go and pay whatever you want to, whatever you are going to use. Okay, so whatever the products you are going to use. Okay, so what is your configurations? So when you are going to deploy a virtual machines or deploy a SQL server or deploy a managed instance. Okay, so whatever the products you are going to use, just only you are going to pay for that products. Like simple, in a simple terms, the cloud computing enables the companies to consume a compute resources such as server, storage, or an application as a utility, like a water or electricity bill. Water or electricity bill, rather than having a building and maintaining the compute infrastructure, like a complete infrastructure. Hey, here we are not maintaining any infrastructure. So who is maintaining the infrastructure? Your cloud providers are maintaining the infrastructure. Your cloud providers are maintaining the infrastructure. Like we have the internet providers, right? So nearby your location we have many internet providers. Okay, so most of the, like Airtel, Vodafone, BSNL, Reliance, so those people are the internet providers, right? Yes, they will also call as a yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Yes, like same. So whoever providing the services over the cloud, so we are calling it as a cloud providers. A company offers these compute services are called as a cloud providers. Just if you have the internet, go on log into the portal. That can be Microsoft portal, that can be Azure portal, that can be Google portal, or that can be Alibaba cloud. Okay, so any portal, just go and deploy your services whatever you want to use. So that can be VM, that can be network, that can be storage, that can be SQL, that can be any other. So almost around 300 plus services are offering by the cloud providers. 300 plus services are, like computer one service, network one service, Active Directory one service, domain controller one service, SQL server one service, SQL managed instance one service. Like everything here you can call it as a service. So whatever the service you are going to use, so whatever the configuration you are going to select, so Microsoft will charge, all your cloud providers will charge hourly basis. Clear, everyone? You are placing your data in somebody computer, somebody data center. Just your cloud is nothing but, okay, so your cloud providers will purchase a huge amount of storages, huge amount of infrastructure they are maintaining. Somebody else computer, somebody else data center where you are placing your data. rather than you are keeping in your data center where you need to maintain all your infrastructure. So I believe you got it, everyone. Manjunath,
Yeah, got it.
Jitendra.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Now, okay. Deployment models. So we already had a discussion about this. Okay. So public, private, hybrid. So these are the major three deployment models. Okay. So private cloud is nothing but on-prem, sir. Okay. So having the more security. Okay. So maintain the single tenant. So I will show you what is the tenant. Okay. So when you log into the portal, so Microsoft will create one tenant for you. Okay. So private clouds are having one single tenant like IT. Mostly IT people will use the IT organization will use the private clouds to secure the data. Okay, so they will have their own policies, security policies. So even Microsoft is also providing the policies. Beyond that, you can apply your own policies. Beyond that, you can also apply your own policies. So then remember private cloud. So when you go to the public cloud, so when you go to the public cloud is nothing but Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, Alibaba Cloud. So these are all the publics where you are hosting your applications or servers in the public so that everyone can access. So that everyone can access. In a simple terms, public clouds are nothing but like a Gmail, your Teams, your Skype. Okay, all this we'll call it as a public clouds. Everyone can access, right? Yes or no? Everyone can access. So when you go to the hybrid cloud, when you go to the hybrid cloud, it is the combination of your private and public cloud. It is the combination of a private cloud and public cloud. So first they will purchase a private cloud. Okay, on top of that private cloud where you are keeping all your application in the public cloud. Your data is secure on the private. Your application is hosting on the public so that you can share that see whatever you are trying to access. So www.facebook.com, www.google.com, www.orkut.com. See all these are public because you are trying to access, right? But whatever your data will be on the private cloud. So hybrid is nothing but a combination of a private and public. So hybrid is nothing but combination of a private and public cloud. Okay. So these are the main three deployment models. Okay. But when you go for beyond that one, we have the community cloud, green cloud, okay, quantum cloud, and the last but not least, government cloud. So whatever your community is nothing but a group of uh, uh, organization came together and they will deploy the applications and data and they will sell the products. So that you can call it as community cloud. Okay, green cloud is nothing but a healthy environment, no wastage of your resources. So how much data you want, so you will deploy only that services. You don't waste any resources. That can be storage, that can be compute, that can be network. So green cloud where you are going to maintain. Okay, next, quantum cloud. Quantum cloud is nothing but gigabytes of data. So they quantum servers. Okay, huge storage capacity. If you want to huge storage capacity like data warehouse, okay, then you can go for the quantum clouds and government cloud. So whatever the applications related to the specific government like India, US, UK, so they will place all their related data in the government clouds is more secured, okay, and will maintain within the region. So that data is not moved outside the regions. All your government related data will be maintained within the region itself. So max it won't move outside of its region. So you will place your data center within the region itself when you go to the government cloud. So these are all the deployment models: private, public, hybrid, community, green cloud, quantum cloud, then government cloud. Okay. So these are all the deployment models. Clear? Any questions?
What is the example of community cloud?
Uh, like in a simple brokers. See what they will do. They will multiple organization came together. Simple, very stock market. Your stock market, right? So your stock market, what they will do? Multiple people came together, and they will purchase the stock, and okay, the profits also will be distribute the same, right? Yes or no? So two or three people will go come together and they will purchase the stocks, okay, and they will sell the whenever they want. They will sell the stocks. Like same community clouds are nothing but multiple organization will come together, okay, and they will deploy applications. Like very simple example, marketplace. So when you open Microsoft portal, when you open AWS portal, you will have the marketplace, Jitin. So and under marketplace, okay, sorry, Jitendra, under marketplace, where you are going to use that application. If you are going and using the application which are placed under the marketplace, so who designed that application, they will end the amount. Also, even Microsoft will also end the amount. Got you?
Yes.
Okay, so these are all the deployment models. So we already discussed. I can just brief about the discussion about the deployment models. Now, service models. So how many service models are available? As everyone knows, three service models are available: IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. Yes or no? Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service.
Yes, Subbu.
Yes, three services. So when you are searching over the blogs, okay. So intro about the cloud computing. So basically, you will get three service models: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Okay. So before discussing about three service models, let me discuss first what is in on-prem. See, so basically, network, storage, server, virtualizations, OS, middleware, runtime, data, application. All these components are maintained by us when you go for on-prem. Yes or no? When you go to the on-premises, current who are working in on-prem, okay, everything this is under your control. You need to maintain. You are the responsible if something goes wrong. Yes or no? That
Yes,
can be
yes.
application, that can be virtualization, that can be servers, that can be storage, that can be network, that can be middleware. Okay, so all will be under our control when you go for on premises. If something happen, so we are the only one person who is responsible. Okay, then when you go to the cloud, so when you go to the cloud, okay, so it will be applicable for all cloud providers, sir. Okay, not only for Azure. When you go for AWS, when you go for Alibaba, when you go for Google Cloud, okay. So what is IaaS? Infrastructure as a service. What is infrastructure as a service? When you go and use the services, okay, like storage, servers, okay, virtualization, network, all will be maintained by your cloud providers. So no need to maintain storage, no need to maintain network, no need to maintain servers, no need to maintain virtualization. Nothing. You are not just okay. That all will be taken. Complete your infrastructure will be taken by the cloud providers. On top of your infrastructure, that you can choose what operating system. You can choose any middleware. Choose the data. Choose application. That will be maintained by you. The infrastructure, complete infrastructure like virtualization, servers, storages, network will be maintained by your cloud providers. Will be maintained by your cloud providers when you go for infrastructure as a service. So what are the services, sir? Everyone having one question mark. Okay, you are telling, okay, so virtualization, server, storage, network will be maintained by your cloud providers. So what are the services, sir? virtual machines, VNets, virtual networks. Okay, uh, storage account. Okay, storage account. Next, all will be comes under the infrastructure as a service. When you go to the AWS, when you go to the AWS EC2 instance, so EC2 in AWS, when you go for Azure, we'll call it as a virtual machines. In Azure, we'll call it as a virtual machines. In AWS, we'll call it as a EC2 instance. Both are servers only. Okay, the naming is going to change. The configurations, the different types are almost same. Only you will see the dashboards are different, but how you are going to deploy a virtual missions on AWS, same how you will deploy a virtual mission on the Azure. But the only naming is in AWS you will call it as a EC2 instance. In Azure you will call it as a virtual mission. In Azure you will call it as a virtual missions. Okay. Next, storage. When you go to the storage, okay, in AWS you will call it as a S3 buckets. In AWS you will call it as a S3 buckets. But when you go for Azure you will call it as a VNets, virtual network, VNet. So, sorry, sorry, storage, right? So when you go to the storage in Azure, you will call it as a storage account. Storage account. We have the session, sir. So storage account is very important because we are going to keep the backup files in the storage account. Okay, so that we are going to discuss next. So when you go to the networks in AWS, you will call it as a VPC, virtual private protocol. In Azure, you will call it as a VNets. Okay, all these servers or belong, all these services or belongs to the infrastructure as a service. All these services or belongs to the infrastructure as a service. Clear? Not clear? So your servers, your storage, your network, your virtualizations will be maintained by the cloud providers. You no need to worry. On top of that, which operating system I need to use? On top of that, you can go for middleware, you can go for runtime, you can go for application. Everything will be under our control. What operating system we are going to use? That can be Linux, that can be Mac, that can be Windows. Okay, so what operating system? What kind of application you are going to deploy on top of that operating system? That is up to your friend. Okay, so what Microsoft, what cloud providers are doing? So cloud providers are maintaining, when you go for infrastructure as a service, so they are maintaining the servers, storage, network, switches, routers, everything will be under Microsoft control. You no need to worry. Okay, in a simple terms, okay, in a simple terms, 5-star hotel, when you go to the 5-star hotel, you need to choose which, whether I need to go for individual, okay, so individual or duplex or multi duplex or suite room, which room you are going to choose. So that is nothing but you know it, you are just paying for the room, you are not paying for anything over that infrastructure, right? Yes or no? When you go for hotel, you are paying for anything for infrastructure based on your resource. That can be duplex room, that can be shoot room, that can be multi shoot room. Okay, so based on that you are going to pay. But no hotel guys will take anything about your infrastructure. Like same when you go for IAS, all your infrastructures will be maintained by your cloud providers. Clear?
Yes.
Online people?
Yes, clear.
Manjunath? Yeah. Any questions? Infrastructure as a service? Okay. Next, platform as a service. PaaS. Platform as a service. See, when you go to the platform as a service, virtualization, server, storage, network, OS, middleware, runtime is going to maintain by your cloud providers. Only application data. Only application data will be maintained by you. So what are the services will comes into the platform as a service? Azure SQL database is the best. Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Managed Instance, Active Directory, Active Directory is also will comes into the PaaS services. You are not maintaining any servers. Azure SQL database, you are maintaining any servers, sir? No. Tomorrow we are going to see, right? So you are not maintaining any servers, nothing about the storage, network, all will be controlled by your cloud providers. Only you are going to deploy Azure SQL database and you are going to use. Deploy your application, Azure SQL database. Deploy your application, Azure Managed Instance. Deploy your application, Azure Elastic Pools, and load your data and use the data. So no need to maintain the infrastructure, nothing. So nothing about the infrastructure, network, everything will be under Microsoft control. If something goes wrong, so you need to contact the Microsoft. Hey, I am not able to. Getting? When you go to the platform as a service, when you go to the platform as a service, okay, so just you need to keep concentrate on the your application and data. So what is your application? That can be Cosmos DB, that can be MySQL, that can be Mongo, that can be Data Factory, Data Factory. Okay, that can be Azure SQL database. Okay, just you are going to use application and you are going to load the data. So what kind of data you are loading, that is up to your point. So nothing, Microsoft won't keep what data you are placing. Okay, so Microsoft will maintain complete infrastructure for you when you go for platform as a service. So what operating system Microsoft is maintaining? Okay, what virtualization? So how they are maintaining, that is up to Microsoft point, your cloud providers. Got you? Platform as a service.
Yes.
Okay. Next, software as a service. Software as a service. Okay. So everything will be maintained by your cloud provider. You can just go and use that applications. Just go and use that application. Example, Teams. Example, Salesforce. Your Teams, Salesforce. Okay, all will come. So for example, uh, when you go to the AWS as well. Okay, so Lambda. In AWS we have the concept called Lambda. Okay, so for example, if you wanted to you written a Python code, you written a JSON code, you written a YAML code. Okay, so YAML programs will be used in the Ansible. Okay, so mostly Ansible, Docker files will use YAML program. So Python can be mostly will use automation. So Azure Databricks will purely so if you are strong at Python, you almost strong at the Azure Databricks. Okay, see, uh, Teams, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Salesforce. Okay, so all will this will comes into the software as a service. You are just downloading the software, and you are just log into the software and you are using. You are just using. So you know it about the data. So where it is storing. Okay, how many days it will store. All that retentions, everything will be maintained by your cloud providers. Hey, very one interesting point everyone need to know. When you go for platform as a service, when you go for software as a service, no need to upgrade your infrastructure. That upgrade will be done by Microsoft. No need to apply the patches. That patches will be done by Microsoft. No need to take the backups. Backups will be taken by the cloud providers. A recovery will also taken by care by the cloud providers, right? So too much of advantages, right? When you go for a platform as a service, when you go for software as a service. See, your application is a development application. Your application is a test application. Say, I am going to use only this application for a couple of months. I am not going to use this application for long lasting. So why I need to go for buy the infrastructure and place that application only for 6 months? In that cases, you can go and keep in the cloud only for 6 months, right? No need to purchase any infrastructure. And one advantage is you will get the latest services than you are finding in on-prem or in outside the market. Clear? Not clear? Infrastructure as a service, a platform as a service. software as a service? Any questions? Janardhan, Manjunath, Sridhar, please make the session more interactive again. Just
Yeah,
repeating,
yeah,
okay?
yeah. Yeah, Subbu. Yeah, Subbu. Yeah, Subbu.
Just make healthy
Yeah,
session as a healthy session, okay? Only no,
Yes, yes.
don't make it as a
yeah,
one
yeah.
man show.
Okay, okay,
Okay?
sure, sure.
Yeah,
Regarding this software as a service, let's assume that a client has Windows Vista, okay, and tomorrow we have Windows 10. So in that case, is it Microsoft responsibility in that case to upgrade, or we
everything
have to?
Microsoft. Everything Microsoft. You no need to worry. You are just downloading the Teams. We are not sure what infrastructure is maintaining for the Windows Teams, right? So when you download the Teams, okay, you are just going and using the Teams, right? So we are not sure what infrastructure Microsoft is maintaining, how much storage is Microsoft maintaining, what is the network Microsoft is maintaining, what is the storage account Microsoft is maintaining. Nothing else is not under our control. Completely not under our control. It is completely controlled by your by your cloud providers, not only Microsoft, sir. Applying the patches, upgrading the versions, okay, will be taken care back, taking the backups. If something happened, recovering, everything will be taken care by the Microsoft, sorry, cloud providers. Got you, Jitendra?
Yeah, what?
Yeah. Okay, only these three service models are available. Is there any service models, you know, anyone? Just guess, okay, just guess, okay. Any other service models? Okay, so but main popular, sir, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Okay, when you, if someone is asking also, just highlight these three. But see, in addition we have four more. DaaS, database as a service. Okay, you can call it as a see, Azure SQL database, Azure managed instance are completely databases, right, sir? You can call it as a platform as a service. Internally you can call it as a database as a service. Database as a service. Okay, so database as a service. So DaaS is nothing but database as a service. Azure SQL database, Azure managed instance, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure MongoDB, Azure MySQL, Azure PostgreSQL, all will comes into the database as a service, right, sir? You can call, but they are completely like a platform as a service only, but you can also call it as a database as a service. Clear? Clear, sir, everyone? Okay,
Yes.
you can
Yes.
call it as a database as a service. Next, DRaaS, so disaster recovery as a service. So disaster recovery as a service, nothing but recovery vault. Recovery recovery vault is the service, sir. Is a service where it is taking the backups. Okay, so you can take complete your VM backup, you can take your databases backups over the recovery vault. Your recover using the recovery vault, you can try to restore the VM, complete VM as well. So DRaaS, disaster recovery as a service. So disaster recovery as a service, the best service is recovery vault, sir. Okay, so Microsoft is also maintaining a recovery vault as a service, is providing recovery vault as a service where you can recovery if something happened enter data center is crash. Okay, so primary, so you can recover completely with help of recovery vault. But it's very costly. Okay, it's very costly resource service. Okay, so recovery vault is a best example for the DRaaS, disaster recovery as a service. Next, IaaC, infrastructure as a code. Infrastructure as a code, YAML, Python, Python, okay, JSON. This all will belongs to the infrastructure as a code, sir. Okay, YAML program, you can write YAML program, you can write JSON program, you can write Python program, right? So when you are using this any one of the programming language, so technically this belongs to the infrastructure as a code. Technically this belongs to the infrastructure as a code, sir. Okay, so database as a service, like best is Azure SQL, Azure SQL DB. Okay, so it's the best example. DRaaS is nothing but recovery vault is the best service. Infrastructure as a code is like YAML, Python, JSON, all will belongs to the infrastructure as a code. Next, so this is very interesting. So XaaS. So just search in Google what is XaaS and tell me what is it. Just search in Google. Okay, what is XaaS?
Anything as a service.
Yes, anything as a service. Okay, so when you go to the Google, okay, it's still under implementation. Okay, anything
Anything as a service.
service. Okay, so now still it is under implementation, sir. So it's also will come anything as a service. Describes the general criteria of the service related to the cloud computing and remote access. Okay, so anything as a service, not only IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. Okay, so we have DaaS, DRaaS, IaaC, and XaaS. Okay, anything as a service. So these are the service deployment models are available. So deployment models, service models. When you go to the deployment models, private, public, hybrid, community, quantum, green cloud, and one more is like government cloud. When you go for service model, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS is the key components. You can have more like database as a service, disaster recovery as a service, infrastructure as a code as a service, anything as a service. Okay, clear about
Okay.
all these components?
Yes.
Yes, yes, Subbu. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Next. So what is the difference between the traditional till now, whoever having the knowledge, who are working already working in on-prem? Okay, the best examples are what is the difference between on-prem and cloud computing? On-prem and cloud computing. The best example, by seeing the example, you can easily like judge that. Okay, so okay, this is what we can see. So this is what the difference is. Buying a car is your on-prem. Going for rental is cloud. See, when you go for purchasing a car, money up to front. Okay, so that is up to what how much you are going. Either you are purchasing 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs, or we have one core also, right? When you are purchasing the cars, okay, you need to pay the road tax, ownership, maintenance cost, insurance cost, driver cost. If you don't know the driving, okay, if you are recruiting the driver, so you need to pay the driver cost. Okay, fuel cost, repair, all will be taken care by us, right? Yes or no?
Yes,
So when you
yes.
go for on-prem, so when you go for on-prem, so buying a car is nothing but your on-prem. Buying, you need to buy the infrastructure, you need to buy the storage, you need to purchase the network. Okay, you need to maintain the cost. Everything is under your. You need to pay for everything. But when you go for rental, money as per usage. Yes or no? Money as per usage. No other charges. No other charges. Like you no need to pay the road tax, you no need to pay the maintenance cost, no need to pay the insurance cost, no need to pay the driver cost, no need to pay for fuel cost, no need to pay for repair, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is the best example for the cloud computing. No other charges. A price up to how much you are using, you need to pay. Just like a Ola, Uber. Okay. So all these are the rental, right? So you are paying any insurance cost, any road tax for that rental cars? No, right? So how much what service you are going to use? How long you are going to just you are going to pay? Like same way. So what service we are going to use? Okay, how long we are going to use? So you need to just pay for that one. And you can also upgrade the car type, right? You the advantage when you go for rental also. When you go for rental also, there are mostly two types. One is the shared rentals, one is the dedicated rentals, right? Yes or no? You can go for the shared also. You will reduce the cost.
Yes, yes.
But time is also dedicated and shared. You can upgrade the car types. Okay, so this is the best example for the on-prem and cloud computing. Okay, now we almost done about the cloud computing introduction, deployment models. Okay, so differences between the on-prem and cloud computing. Okay, now see this whatever till now we discuss it will be applicable for all cloud providers. Okay, it will be applicable for all cloud providers. So when you go for Google Cloud, when you go for AWS Cloud, when you go for Alibaba Cloud, okay, so it will be applicable for all cloud providers. Same, so whatever we discussed, right, that will be applicable for all. Now, as we are the dedicatedly Microsoft lovers, okay, so we are going to learn Microsoft Azure. Okay, so but I am going to compare all this, sir. When we are discussing, I will compare with AWS as well. Okay, so how whatever the services you are going to learn, okay, that also you can do on the AWS, you can do on the Azure cloud, Google Cloud, you can also perform on the Alibaba Cloud. Okay, so these are the top cloud providers. So Google Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, and AWS. AWS will call it as a RDS, Relational Database Service. Okay, see a little intro about the Azure. Okay, a little intro about Azure. Announced in 2008 with the code name called Project Red Dog. Okay, first introduction on 2008, sir. Okay, with the project name called Project Red Dog. The name called as a Project Red Dog. Okay, officially launched on the February 1st, 2010 as a Windows Azure. Windows Azure. Okay, developing the cloud leader following AWS means purely Azure is designed based on the a cloud leader is designed in the cloud leader. That leader is nothing but AWS. Okay, so our grandpa, our grandpa is AWS, sir. Okay, so
Mm.
these are all the tales. Okay, so purely designed from the AWS. So AWS is already implemented and they are selling the services like compute services, storage services, network services based on AWS. So completely it is designed based on the AWS. It is completely designed. Various servers offering like VMs, dedicated spot host, VNet, traffic manager, express route, storage account, Azure SQL databases. Lot many services are offering. When you go to the Azure, okay, lot many services are offering. Next slide I will show you. Spread across 54, not 54, sir. It's now it's around 60 plus. 60 plus regions are throughout the global. Throughout the global, you can see around 60 plus regions where you can host your applications, which is your nearest edge location. You can go and place your. See, that's in a simple terms. Okay, in a simple terms. Okay, so we have one site called. Okay, so let me open that site. Okay, map.buildazure.com. You can directly go and open map.buildazure.com from the portal, sir. Okay, where you can see completely a map, the posted where your data centers. Microsoft is maintaining all the data centers, right? So completely you can maintain. You can see even when you go to the India. So as I told you already, okay. So India is maintaining three data centers. One is in Chennai, one is in Pune, one is in Mumbai. So as I told you, India is the reason. Under the region, we have three different zones. Zones. Okay, three zones Microsoft is offering where you can. When you go for AWS, we have two zones. Two data centers are maintaining. Both the data centers are nearest to Mumbai only in AWS when you go to. But Microsoft is maintaining three different. Okay, Chennai, Pune, Mumbai. Okay, these many regions, these many data centers are maintaining around almost around 60 plus regions. Microsoft is maintaining the data centers. Sorry, how it rotated like that place. Okay, yeah. Okay, so maps.build.azure.com. You can go and you can verify the latest where Microsoft is sourcing. Okay, so best. So in Australia, three maintaining. In Singapore, they are maintaining. When you go to the US, lot many data centers are maintaining. Got you?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Now
Yes, Subbu. Yes, Subbu.
let yes. Okay. So when you go to the any cloud provider, mostly they are charging the bill for hourly basis. Sir. Okay. So Microsoft is going to charge. 1 second, sir. Okay, so Microsoft is going to charge for hourly basis. So whatever the services you are going to deploy, Microsoft will going to charge for the hourly basis. Okay, so Microsoft Azure is introduced on the February 1st, 2010. Earlier, first they announced it in the 2008 with the name called Project Red Dog. Okay, got you?
Yes,
sir.
Subbu.
So as I told you, as I promised you, we have multiple services Microsoft is offering. A number of services Microsoft is offering. When you go to the infrastructure as a service, when you go to the infrastructure as a service, compute under compute we have the virtual machines, we have the containers. When you go to the storage, blob, queue, file, disk, all will comes into the storage part. When you go to the network, virtual networks, load balancer, DNS, express route, traffic manager, VPN gateway, apps gateway. So this all will comes into the network. This all will comes into the network. IaaS, infrastructure as a service, compute, storage, network. So these three will comes into the IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Okay, infrastructure as a service. So when you go to the AWS also, so we have the in AWS we'll call it as a EC2 instance and the containers. Okay, when you go to the storage in AWS, you will call it as a S3 buckets. S3 buckets, sir. S3 buckets you will call it as a. In Azure you will call it as a storage account. In Azure you will call it as a storage account. When you go to the network, when you go to the network, you will see the virtual net in Azure you will call it as a virtual network. When you go to the AWS, you will call it as a VPC. You will call it as a VPC, like load balancer, DNS, express route, a traffic manager, VPC gateway, apps gateway, all will be same on the AWS as well. Okay, almost similar, sir. Almost similar, but the naming will be changed. But so how you are going to deploy, what is the use, what is the purpose, almost the similar. Okay, the dashboards will be different, but the concept wise it is a same. Got you? So yesterday we had a discussion about the load balancer, right? So how to deploy always on under the load balancer.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, when you go to the platform as a service, okay. So here we have lot many services. Okay. So but I will help you, sir, in future. So if you wanted to nowadays a market is looking for multi technology, right? Okay, in future if you wanted to enhance your content over the resume, okay, enhance your technologies, so what are the services will help you a lot. Whoever working in on-prem, whoever already working in on-prem, they know about, they need to support IaaS, right? Integration service, reporting services, analysis services, yes or no? You are already supporting as a core DB also. You need to support integration service, you need to support reporting services, you need to support analysis services. Code DB apart, sir, I am not discussing about what. Say sorry, yeah. Okay. So see, when you go to the core DBA also, you are going to support the installation the integration service, installation the reporting services, and configuring, granting the permission. Okay, installing the analysis service, deploying the uh, cubes, right? So this is the core DBA work as well. So when you want to upgrade to the cloud, okay, the best service is Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory, sir. In on-prem, you are calling it as a integration service. In on-prem, you are calling it as an integration service. When you go to the Azure, you are going to call it as a Azure Data Factory. Once you are strong at, Azure SQL database, okay, Azure managed instance, Azure SQL VM. Once you are strong, okay, then next step, go to the Azure Data Factory. Go to Azure Data Factory, sir, because uh, I can tell you one simple upgradation, sir. So I will take one sample package in IAS. I will show you how to create the Azure Data Factory in this training session, okay, and I will deploy one package over the Azure Data Factory as well. That will be very helpful, but don't expect too much on Azure Data Factory, okay, but a basic which will help you a lot, okay, that I can intro about Azure Data Factory, what you will do in Azure Data Factory. I will take one session, sir, okay. But in real world, so if you wanted to enhance your skills, go for Azure Data Factory first, then Azure Data Bricks, then Azure Data Lake, okay, then HD Insights. This all will comes advanced level of analytics, sir, data analytics, okay. If you're strong at sir, I am already good at the development, so I'm just pretty much I wanted to enhance my skills. So what is the technology I wanted to learn? So for them I'm just explaining, just go to the Data Factory, then go to the Databricks, go to the Data Lake, go to HD Insights, okay, go to the logic apps, okay, logic functions, okay, this all will help you. So logic apps, logic functions, one of that, it is a like a notification, sir. If you wanted to send the notification mails, you will use logic apps and logic functions, okay. So that will also will expand your resume weightage, so who are working in on-prem. Got you? Any questions? Online people?
I,
No.
I
Jitendra,
got,
Janak, Janardhan, sorry,
got.
Manjunath. Okay, just try to enhance your skill in future, sir. Once you are strong at Azure SQL, Okay, just go to the Azure Data Factory. So no need to choose what technology I need to learn. So we have lot many technologies. Okay, so just try to learn related to our course. Okay, instead of learning a new technology, it's again hectic for us. Okay, yes, sorry. Okay, now I will walk through the portal, sir, in a while. Okay, so meanwhile, I wanted to show you. You will see, you don't see no more manage.windowsazure.com. This is the oldest portal, sir. When you are trying to connect to the portal, 2 to 3 years back. So we are going to use manage.windowsazure.com. Manage.windowsazure.com. So this is how your portal looks like. This is how your portal look like. Okay, but completely the portal is upgraded. Completely the portal is upgraded. Now you are calling it as a portal.azure.com. Now you are calling it as a portal.azure.com. Even when you go open the Google and when you are typing manage.windowsazure.com, automatically it will route to the portal.azure.com only. Now this is the portal how it will looks like. Now this is the portal how it will looks like. Now no more you are using manage.windowsazure.com. Earlier, whenever you are referring any blogs, whenever you are referring any videos over the YouTube channel, okay, when you see these kind of images, means you are referring oldest. Please, that is a make a note. Okay, that you need to make a note. That is the oldest. Okay, blocks where you are using. So please, now current block is portal.azure.com. The block will looks like this. This is the dashboard. This is how your dashboard looks like, sir. Now it. Okay, I'm just walk through. I will just walk through after a couple of sites. Okay, just hold on. Next, Azure free trial. Okay, so Microsoft is offering the free trial. Okay, when even when you go for AWS also, so AWS is also offering the free trial subscriptions. Okay, so you can create AWS for free trial. You can create Azure for free trial. Okay, maximum they will charge only ₹2. Max they will charge only ₹2. Okay, so Microsoft is offering $200 for your account. When you create Microsoft, when you try to going to create a Azure free trial, okay, so Microsoft will offer $200 for your account. So that is approximately 13,000 rupees. Approximately 13,000 rupees when you convert into the Indian currency. If you are using, if you are not using, that will be expired in 1 month. Okay, that will be expired in 1 month, sir. Azure gives a free trial account to learn about the services for the free. Almost all the services we can use, sir, but few services you cannot use. That is the one is Azure Managed Instance. So I am going to purchase Azure Managed Instance behalf of you. Okay, I am going to grant the permission for 2 days. You can play with Azure Managed Instance, like how we are going to see in real world. Okay, no need to pay any additional rupees. Just use the credit card. Just use only ₹2. So Microsoft will charge only ₹2. Don't afraid. So Microsoft won't take any amount from your credit card or debit card. Okay, so so many people will tell Microsoft will take. No, without your interruption, Microsoft won't, or any cloud provider won't take any single rupee. So when you are going to create a Azure account, just Microsoft will take only ₹2. Please, but please, okay. So whatever you are practicing, after you are practicing, go and remove completely. Okay, don't forget to remove. Okay, so otherwise that 13,000 rupees will also completed within a week if you forget to remove whatever the service you are going to use. Microsoft is going to charge for hourly basis, right? If you are going for high-end configurations, so almost Microsoft will charge. Okay, but few services are free for 1 year. Free services are free for 1 year, sir. Okay, like virtual machines, okay, storage that can be used for 1 year. Okay, so 1 year it is free. Microsoft, even when you purchase the pay as you go model, even when you purchase the pay as you go model, Microsoft won't charge a single rupee. Microsoft will charge. Microsoft won't charge a single rupee as well. Got you? Online people?
Yes.
Clear? Not clear? If you are not using, 13,000 will expire in 1 month. So please be practice as much as you can in this 1 month. Play with the services. Okay, 1 month strictly you just sit for the Azure, then you will be too good. Almost whatever we are going to discuss, almost it will cover everything. How to migrate the logins, how to migrate the jobs, how to migrate SQL databases in different models. Okay, how to deploy, how to change. Okay, what activities we can perform, everything. Okay, then you can the resume weightage will be good. Okay, so you are multi technology now, not only strictly with on-prem, you are having good amount of experience on the Azure as well. So how we are going to do here, same how in real world also you will perform, sir, except the network issue only. So some kind of networks, we have some complexity, that networks will be maintained in real world, that will be taken care by the network team. So you no need to worry in real world. Any questions? Any questions?
No, no.
Okay. No. This is the one difference you will notice if you have the AWS knowledge, sir. If you have AWS knowledge, so this is the one difference you will notice. Before going to discuss here, okay. So what certifications are we need to do when you go for Azure? As we are a core Microsoft SQL Server administrator. What certification I want to do on when you go for Azure? DP300. Administrating relational database on Microsoft Azure. DP300, sir. Okay, the best certificate for suits for our core SQL database administrator. Okay, DP300. The content is already upgraded last uh, month, 27th Jan. So that is why last batch also I suggested don't go for a DP300 certification as of now. The course is the content is upgrading. Okay, so better now you can go, sir. Now you can go and do the DP300 certification. Okay, and also if you are wanted to take, you can go for DP900, like a basic fundamental, sir. A basic fundamental, nothing apart from nothing. Basic fundamental will be available when you go for DP 900. Okay, so this content is completely about okay, how you are going to secure, how you are going to optimize, how you are going to optimize the query performance. Okay, performing automation task. Okay, so planning and implementing high availability and disaster recovery solutions, performing administrator by using these equals, all we are going to cover in this part of training. So we are going to deploy the Azure SQL database. We are going to discuss about the performance tuning, optimizing, high availability, disaster recovery solutions. All we are going to cover in this part of, and you are securing the data. Okay, how you are going to integrate your SQL database with the Azure Active Directory. How you are going to integrate your Azure SQL database with on-prem Active Directory. So all we are going to discuss. Okay. So meanwhile, I can also provide you the dump for you. Meanwhile, I can also provide you DP300 dump. So that not it. Okay. Still we are getting. So once we got, I will provide you the dump as well. Okay. Just go to the dump, practice, and you can take the DP300 certificate. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, when you go to, especially when you go to the Azure, sir, we have one key component that is nothing but subscription. Azure subscription. See, once I log into the portal, okay, once I log into the portal, portal.azure.com. One second. why it is asking every time code? Oh, oh, okay. Okay. So, okay, 1 second, guys. Okay. Okay. Verify. Okay. See, once you log into the portal, once you log in the portal, the first step you need to do. See, okay. Once you log into the portal, everyone think about like, okay, I already log into the portal. Now I can use all the service whatever the Microsoft is offering. Is it true or false? I log into the portal. I already log into the portal. Can I use all the services whatever Microsoft is offering?
No.
So what is the first step you need to do? Someone told no. Okay, right.
We,
What is
we
the first
need
step?
to we need to subscribe whatever you want.
We
No,
need,
you
I
need
think we
to
need to
create
create
a
Need to create an
subscriptions.
account.
No. You need to create a subscription first. Until unless if you create the subscription, you cannot use any services whatever the Microsoft is offering. Once you log into the portal, first step everyone need to do is to create the subscription. To create the subscription. Until unless you create the subscription, you cannot use any services what Microsoft is offering. What Microsoft is offering. So first of all, what is subscription? There is no nothing in AWS, sir. When you go to AWS, once you log into the portal, you can use whatever the services you want. You can use whatever the services you want. You can deploy EC2 instance, you can deploy S3 buckets, you can deploy RDS, relational database services, whatever you want. But when you specially go to the Microsoft Azure, okay, once I log into the portal, first I need to create the subscription. So basically, what is the subscription first of all? Okay, that is what we are going to discuss now. Okay, a Azure subscription provides the capabilities to create, deploy, and run Azure cloud services. Subscription will provide the capability to create any service, to deploy any service, to run any services. That can be virtual machines, containers, Azure SQL database, any services. If you wanted to use, you must and should require the subscription. Okay, if you don't have an Azure subscription, you cannot use any one of the Azure services. Without the subscription, you cannot do anything. Means without the subscription, you cannot access, you cannot deploy, you cannot create, but you can see whatever the services Microsoft is offering, but you cannot create, you cannot deploy, you cannot run any services until unless you create the subscription. A subscription is a container for Azure, for your Azure resources. It's like a container, sir. Your Azure subscription is like a container where you are going to keep all your resources under one container. Okay, so Azure subscription is a billing boundary. If you wanted to pay, so you can go to the subscription, you can audit, so how much utilization done for last 1 month and what is the payment, and you can also change the payment method. Okay, Azure subscription is also administrator boundary. Azure subscription is also administrator boundary, means you can control the access from the subscription level. You can control the access from the subscription level, like it is like a administrator boundary as well. It is a billing boundary, it is a container for your resources, it is an administrator boundary, Azure subscription is a resource deployment boundary. So if you wanted to deploy any resources, so you must also require the subscription. You must require the subscription. Each subscription can have the different billing and the payment setup. You can maintain multiple subscriptions like production subscription, development subscription, test subscription, staging subscription. You can maintain multiple subscriptions, sir. Each subscription you can maintain multiple payment methods. Like every monthly I go for the production. Every 15 days I can go for the development. Every 10 days I can go for the test. Every day I can go for the staging environment. So different billings, different payment methods, you can go for the subscription level. Each subscription is a subject of quota, means each subscription having some limitations, sir. If you wanted to expand that limitation, you need to again contact the Microsoft. You need to again contact the Microsoft. Each cloud service belongs to the subscription, and the subscription ID may be required for the programmatic operation. So when you are working with a portal level, no need to worry about the subscription ID, sir. But when you are working deploying from the PowerShell or Python or YAML or JSON, and you are going to deploy the Azure services, definitely you require the subscription ID. Okay, when you are working from the portal, no need to worry about the subscription ID. But when you are working with the programmatic languages and you are going to deploy any services using the programmatic like Python, YAML, JSON, you must also require the subscription ID. Without the subscription ID, you cannot go for the programmatic deployments. Got you? What is the subscription? A subscription is a billing boundary, sir, where you are maintaining all your resources under one container, that can be administrator, that can be billing, that can be payment, that subscription having the quota, everything, sir, everything. So once you log into the portal, the first step you need to do, you need to create the subscription. You need to create the subscription. So getting my point? Online people?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me go on say, okay. Go to the Google. I will provide you some links, sir, okay. So I'm already saved here. So this is the one best link if you want to learn more about subscription, okay. I'm going to share all this in a chat window. You can save it, okay. See, organizing and managing the multiple Azure subscription. So if you are maintaining multiple subscription, if you are maintaining one subscription, no need to worry, sir, okay. If you are maintaining multiple subscription, okay, so what are the best practices you need to do? So this is the hierarchy, sir, okay. So if you have multiple subscriptions, okay, on top of subscription they will create a management group. So we have one more hierarchy, sir. So we have hierarchy. So the top level hierarchy is management groups. Under management groups, subscriptions. Under subscriptions, resource groups. Under resource groups, we have the resources. So here is your resources. Resources are nothing but storage, VMs, Azure SQL, Azure Menace, Cosmos. That can be Data Factory, Azure Data Lake, Azure Data Factory. All are comes under resources. All we are resourcing under one group, sir. That group is nothing but management group, subscriptions, resource groups, and resources. So this is the hierarchy. So if you are maintaining multiple subscriptions, then you need to maintain from the management groups. Means on subscription we have one more hierarchy. On top of subscription we have one more hierarchy. That hierarchy is a management groups. Okay, getting my point? Okay, see here I am maintaining the management group. Under management group I am maintaining the subscriptions. See, even you can go for multiple management groups. Even you can go for like as I am telling that you can maintain multiple subscriptions, right? Under management group also you can maintain multiple management groups. So then this management group will comes into the root management or organization management group. Under this management group, I am going to create one more management group, that is nothing but production. This management group is nothing but pre-prod. Under this production management group, I am maintaining two subscriptions. Under this each subscription, I can maintain multiple resource groups. Under each resource groups, I can maintain multiple resources. So getting all in people?
Yes. Get it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
How many
So this is the
subscriptions
hierarchy.
you have?
See, there is no limitations, but see, as a best practices, we cannot go for multiple subscriptions, right? So mostly, how many environments you will maintain in a simple terms: prod, pre-prod, test, dev, staging, build. So you can maintain this many subscriptions, sir. Okay, there is nowhere where Microsoft is telling. So we have limitations. Even when you go to the Microsoft and asking, uh, I want 1,000 subscription. Will Microsoft will create 1,000 subscription for you? You are going and asking to the Microsoft, hey, I want 1,000 subscriptions. Will Microsoft will create 1,000 subscriptions for you?
No.
Microsoft is getting amount, right? Microsoft will get amount.
For each subscription we need to pay for, right?
Microsoft will get amount, right? Why Microsoft will tell, okay, I can create the 1,000 subscription. Will Microsoft will create will tell you, I'm going to create 1,000 subscription? No, Microsoft will raise a question first. Why? Question mark. So why
Okay.
you are expecting 1,000 subscription? So he will suggest, he will provide the recommendations. So that is not an easy try to maintain the 1,000 subscription. Yes or no? Each subscription having multiple resources, each subscription having multiple billing payments, each subscription level you have administrators. It's challenges. So Microsoft will guide you, will tell you the best practices. Okay, when you go for subscription levels. Clear? Not clear?
Yes. So a subscription is equivalent to your email ID, which is assigned to that subscription, or you need to have multiple email
No,
IDs.
subscription is not like an email, Jitendra. Subscription is like a container, like it's just container. In a simple terms, so see, let me give you example. As you are a core SQL DB, you are going to deploy Azure SQL database. You are going to deploy Azure managed instance. You are going to deploy Azure SQL VM. These are the deployments we'll do, right? So if you wanted to deploy, if you wanted to create, if you wanted to modify, if you wanted to access, you require the subscription. Without the subscription, you cannot do anything. See, once I log into the portal, once I log into the portal with my email address, automatically when you go to the Active Directory, sir. So when you go to the Azure Active Directory, one tenant is already created for you. One tenant is already created for you. One directory is already created. But you cannot use any services until you create the subscription here. This challenge you cannot see in AWS, or you cannot see in Google Cloud, or you cannot see in Alibaba Cloud. Only in Azure. So we are following some hierarchies, especially where you are grouping your resources, so that you can monitor from one side. So instead of monitoring individual, say I don't want pre-prod, so you can go and delete the subscription. At one shot you are going to do, right? Instead of going and deleting individually, instead of going and monitoring individually, at one shot you can monitor, at one shot you can maintain administrator, at one shot you can remove everything, you can maintain at one shot, right? It's like a container. In a simple term, it's like a container. It's a billing boundary, it is administrator, it's like a resource boundary, it's having some limitations. Getting, Jitendra?
Okay, let me rephrase my question. For
Yes.
example, on the right-hand corner, we are seeing
Yes.
the email ID, right?
Yes.
Sainath@outlook.com.
Yes.
So under
Yeah.
this email ID, can I have multiple subscription?
Yes, sir. Yes. You
Okay.
can have multiple subscriptions.
Okay, got it. I thought maybe
This
for
is
individual ID,
yeah,
you
no
need
no no
to.
no no. This is your portal. Assume this is your you are working in Infosys, you are working in TCS, okay? So this is your organization portal dashboard. Okay, so once you log into the portal, by default, Microsoft will create one tenant for you. That is the tenant is TCS. Under this tenant, you can create multiple subscriptions. Under this tenant, you can create multiple subscription. Under this tenant, you can also create new tenancy. Under this account, you can create one more tenant. See, you are creating one more tenant. You can also create one more tenant. ID, sir, just ID, tenant ID. Okay. So under one tenant, you can maintain multiple subscriptions. Under multiple subscription, you can maintain multiple resource group. Under multiple resource groups, you can maintain multiple resources. Got you? Resource groups subscriptions are nothing but containers, sir. Actually, your resources. Actually, resources. These are all the containers where you can monitor, where you can audit, where you can see what are resources are running under one container. So that will help you a lot. Instead of you are maintaining individually, you are keeping in under a containers. That containers you are calling it as a subscription. That containers you are calling it as a resource groups. Got you?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Okay. And one more is limitations, sir. Okay. So let me share you this link as well. Okay. Sorry. There are some limitations when you specially go to the subscription level. Service limitations, quota limitations. Okay. So there are some limitations. This block will help you a lot. So managed groups per Azure AD tenant is 10,000. Subscription per managed group is unlimited. You can create multiple subscriptions, unlimited, sir. So someone asks, right, how many subscription I can create? So unlimited. Got your answer? Okay. So when you go to the subscription limited, unlimited. Okay. So this is the best, sir, where you can go and refer this one when you get a time or when you get a chance. Okay. So will let you know more about so what are the limitations you will see. Okay. So what are the services I can deploy? So what is the any limitations? You will get complete info about your subscriptions are detailed info. So it's very difficult. Okay. So because we are core SQL lovers. Okay. But when you get a chance, just refer this article, sir. Okay. Here one thing I wanted to tell you. You need to see the date. Go for max 6 months, sir. Don't refer oldest blocks. Okay, just max you can go for last updates that can be below 6 months. That can be below 6 months, sir. Okay, any not only Azure SQL, that can be any block. Okay, please refer the latest blocks. You will get the latest info. You will get the latest info. So, getting my point?
Yes.
Okay, chalo. Okay, and let me explain you one more thing, sir. This is also will help you. Okay. Mm, okay. Okay. Let me open this block as well. Okay. Same thing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this one. Sorry, I missed. Okay. Sorry, sir. Don't copy previous link. Okay. Just make it. We already opened that one. So this is the link, sir. Okay. When you want to become Azure admin, okay, all these components you must and should know. When you wanted to become Azure admin, then you must and should learn all this, sir. As we are a SQL code, SQL DB, no need to worry about all these concepts. But I wanted to share you so that you will be in future if you decide I wanted to learn, okay, more about Azure, then this block, all blocks will help you a lot. Okay, here, see hierarchy, sir. Sir, here the main thing is hierarchies. Okay, yeah. So don't worry about the individual service level permissions. We'll discuss a lot. Okay, so when you go to the high end permissions, so when you log into the Azure portal, so by default you will get the account administrator. By default your account is nothing but account administrator. Only one account administrator for one portal, sir. So now this is your account administrator. So this is your account administrator. By default, you will get the global administrator permission. Means you can do anything. You can do anything over this Azure portal. You can deploy, you can create, you can remove, you can grant whatever you want. You can do anything from this portal, sir. You can do anything from portal because once you log into the portal with your account, so whatever the account you were trying to log in, so that login by default it is nothing but a account administrator. Account administrator, only one account administrator will be available from the portal level. You can manage the billing, you can payment methods, you can do whatever you want. You can create the subscription, you can cancel the subscription. Okay, and next level hierarchy is nothing but service administrator. Service administrator, in a simple terms, account administrator is nothing but a CEO. Service administrator is nothing but your project manager, sir, who can manage all, right? So your project manager, service administrator, one one subscription, one service administrator, one subscription, one service administrator. Okay, he can manage the complete the service administrator. Sorry, he can manage complete that subscription. Means granting the permissions, revoking the permission, canceling the subscriptions. Okay, and he is the authorized to create the co-administrators. He is the authorized to create the co-administrator. Maximum one subscription you can create 200 per subscription. One subscription you can create 200 co-administrators. Okay, means sir, only I can grant 200 permissions. This is something different hierarchy level, sir. So we will discuss that SQL level in coming sessions. Okay, so this is also will help you a lot. So maximum 3 administrators will be available at the portal level. One is the account administrator. By default you will get it, and service administrator from the subscription level. Okay, only one service administrator from subscription level, and 200 co-administrator from the subscription level. Clear? Not clear? Okay, this is the oldest hierarchy where you are following nowadays, but we are using the RBAC. Very important concept. We are going to discuss on the security part. So we are going to discuss on the security part. Okay, RBAC, role-based access control. Role-based access control. So role assignment. Okay, RBAC. We are going to discuss a lot about RBAC, sir, in coming sessions. Clear? Clear about limitations, subscription hierarchy, and administrator level permissions. Clear? Not clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, resource groups and resources. Okay, resource group and resources. See, earlier days. Okay, uh, earlier days we are following a classic method, sir. Okay, in a classic method. Nowadays we are following ARM module. ARM, Azure Resource, okay, Manager. Azure Resource Group, ARM model. Azure Resources Manager means where you are going to maintain all resources under one resource group. So that can be disk, that can be IP address, that can be storage, that can be any resources, sir. You are maintaining under the resource group. At one shot you can remove. At one shot you can play with the resources. Okay, so ARM model. So please refer whenever you are referring any portal. When you see the classic, when you see the name called classic, means you are referring oldest to docs. You are referring oldest doxer. Please don't refer classic. That is completely gone. So now we are under purely on the ARM models. Azure Resource Manager. So nothing but we are grouping all the resources by creating the resource groups. Under the resource group, you are placing the resources. You are maintaining all the resources under the resource group. Your resource group is also called it as a container. Your resource group is also called as a container. Under one subscription, you can maintain multiple resource group. Under multiple resource group, you can maintain multiple resources. You can maintain multiple resources. Getting my point? Production resource group, development resource group, test resource group, pre-prod resource group. Like it is also like a container, sir, where you can deploy all your resource under the resource group. No need to worry. Tomorrow we are going to see practical. Okay, then you will get it. Don't get confused. Okay, clear? Not clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear.
Is there any difference between classic and ARM model, sir?
Classic like individual, sir, individual resources. Okay, if you wanted to grant, if you wanted to maintain, if you wanted to delete, that is a challenge. Individually you need to perform. But when you go for ARM model, one shot you can grant all the permission to all the production supports. One shot you can remove. That is the advantage you can see when you go for ARM model. Azure Resource Manager. Okay,
Right.
got you?
Yes, sir.
And yeah, let me. Okay, search for azure.microsoft.com. Okay, search for azure.microsoft.com. So this is the main dashboard, sir. Actually, the original dashboard is this one. If you wanted to connect, you can click on the portal. You will go to the. It will open the portal for you. It will open the portal for you. Before that, I wanted to just walk through this one. Okay, azure.microsoft.com. Complete information about everything you can see from here. Okay, so what services, what products, your what everything you can get it from here. See overview. So the solutions what Microsoft is okay providing: AI, artificial intelligence, application development, cloud migration, data analytics, hybrid cloud and infrastructure, security and governance. Okay, multiple solutions Microsoft is offering. See, multiple solutions of Microsoft is offering. And when you go to the products, see, so analytics, blockchain, compute, containers, database, DevOps, developer tools, hybrid, multi-cloud, okay, identity, security, storage, web, mobile, migration, media, multiple products Microsoft is offering. When you go to the computers, when you go to the compute, so what are the services? Virtual machines, storages, virtual networks. So here you can see individually. You can click here. So it will go to the virtual machines. Complete. So complete virtual machines intro and the videos as well. Okay. So where you can refer. So this is the main blocks are where you can get complete information about and the documentation. No need to go anywhere. You can get all the info about here itself. So you are a Microsoft SQL Server. Okay. Let me go to the databases. So I wanted to learn Azure SQL database. Okay. Click on Azure SQL database. Complete information about Azure SQL database. See what is new. What is Azure SQL database? Purchasing model, service tiers, serverless compute, hyperscale service tiers, migrations, T-SQL differences. Okay, reserved capacity. Everything you are getting complete into intro. No need to go anywhere, sir. You will get complete information here itself. Okay, documentation. So mostly we'll refer this doc, sir. Okay. So next, the one interesting is pricing. Pricing. You can calculate how much Microsoft will charge when I choose this configuration. When I choose this service, how much Microsoft will charge per hourly basis. You can go for calculator. So we'll discuss a lot about that one, okay? So I wanted to go for virtual machine. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Now, see, it's completely how much Microsoft. See, a different. We'll discuss a lot, okay? Pricing calculator and the trainings, internal trainings, right? Microsoft will provide the trainings. All the trainings, coming trainings, already available trainings will be placed in the training dashboard. Okay, so Microsoft partners directly. Okay, if you wanted to find any Microsoft partners, you can go. Hanu is the Microsoft partner. Okay, hanu.com, which is hosted in India, Pune, I believe. This is, I forget. Okay, this is the partner to the Microsoft. If you wanted to create the subscription, no need to directly go to the Microsoft. You can also contact the Hanu. He will create the subscription for you. He will create the subscription for you. See, he is the Microsoft partner. Okay, not okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so support, if you wanted to get the support, you can. And you blogs, you can go for blogs. So this is the portal overview, sir. uh, Outside. So when you go to the portal.azure.com, okay, but in real world, you in real world, that URL will be changed, sir. Like, if for example, I'm working for so and so company, okay, that specific URL will be available. Okay, that specific URL will, like ibm.com, like tcs.com, like infosys.com. So you cannot open portal.azure.com. Okay, so they won't design their protocol URLs. So you will open their URLs. You will get here your company logo. You will get your company logo. Okay. Okay. So if you wanted to go anywhere, if you wanted to go to the main screen, just click on here. Okay, so click here, three dashboard. You will get the favorite services, all by default favorite services. Okay, if you wanted to raise the case to the Microsoft, you can go here. So no need to worry. I'm using the free trial subscription. Can I create a case to the Microsoft? Yes, you can create, sir. Even you are under free trial subscription. Even under your free trial subscription, you can also create the case to the Microsoft, so that Microsoft vendor will contact you and help you to fix your issue. Okay, if you stuck somewhere, you can go and create the case to the Microsoft. Okay, these are all favorites. Okay, so when you go to the all services, so okay, when you go to the all services, click on all services. Okay, see, but you are seeing the preview. You are seeing the preview, and remaining or normal. So preview is nothing but still under implementation, sir. Okay, you can use these services as well, but you may face some challenges. Okay, still under implementation phase. These are all okay. So you can use these services, but you may face some challenges when you are deploying or when you are accessing, because still under implementation phase, right? Okay, see, classic. Don't go for classic. This is old. Okay, preview, classic, and normal. Go for all normal, sir. See, compute services, networking services, okay, storage services, okay, web services, mobile services, container services, database services. See, all will comes under database. So Microsoft Azure is completely for Microsoft product. No, wrong. See, you can see MySQL. MySQL is Oracle product. You can see MariaDB. You can see MariaDB. You can see PostgreSQL. Okay, you can also see SAP HANA. SAP HANA also you can see. Let me go to. Let me show you, sir. 1 second. SAP HANA. Yeah, SAP HANA. Now completely SAP HANA is also integrating over the Azure. Okay. next coming also completely Oracle also designing on the Azure. How important? Okay, so you can see all the services are here. So if I wanted to add as a favorite, so okay, so when you click here, if you wanted to add as a favorite, see now your Azure SQL database is available. But where is Azure managed instance? Now go to Azure here. Where is Azure managed instance? Yeah, managed instance. Keep the cursor here and click on the star button. Click on the star button. So now you are going to add as a favorite. Okay, see now it will go to the add as a favorite. Okay, all the services. Now this is Cloud Cell, sir. So for example, you are going to open the PowerShell, right? You are going to open the PowerShell. You are going to open the command prompt CMD. Okay, you are going to open the command prompt. You are going to open the PowerShell, right? Inbuilt from the portal, I wanted to open the inbuilt portal. I wanted to open the command cell. So if you want to work from the portal level, you can go for the bash is nothing but Linux, sir. You can use the PowerShell. From the portal level, you can run the commands, you can deploy, you can access, you can create whatever you want. Okay, from the portal level also you can do it. From the portal level also you can do it. And this is the okay, so directory and the subscription level info. If you wanted to switch, you can switch it out. I will show you where you need to switch the directories. And this is nothing but notification. If you are deploying any services, whoever deploying, okay, you wanted to see the notification, you will see whether your deployment is failed or success. Where is your deployment? You can monitor from your notification window. You can monitor from your notification window. And okay, you click here. So okay, so click here. Okay, if you wanted to switch the directories, means nothing but if you have multiple multiple tenant, okay, then you can switch here. Say I'm having multiple tenants, sir. I'm having multiple tenant. One is the default tenant, so that is created when I deploy, when I connect to the Azure portal. I created one more tenant for previous batch, sir. Okay, so I can connect to the multiple tenant. So from here you can switch, but be careful under which directory you are going to deploy your services. When you are working from the portal, no need to worry, sir. But when you are working from the command line, be careful under which subscription you are placing your services. Don't get confused. Okay, clear? Not clear? This is a walkthrough about the portal and what is certification. Okay, about subscription, resource group, resources. Any questions? Any questions? Can I stop the recording? If no nothing.
The free subscription is for only 1 month, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
After
Tomorrow I
that
will
we
just
can.
walk through about the subscription. Tomorrow I
Yes,
will
yes.
walk
Okay.
because it's the first day, right?
Yeah,
First
yeah.
day I cannot go for beyond. So I'm just okay. It's fine. It's healthy now. Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow I just walk through the subscription. So I will show you the billing boundaries, how to change it, how to monitor. Tomorrow, then we'll go for Azure SQL. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.